Hey everybody, welcome to a great video because I have the unique opportunity to try out the all-wheel drive capability of the new Subaru Forester Wilderness. That's right, the off-road trim of the Forester. And in this video, we're gonna put it through its test on the TFL slip test and then bring it out into the real world and see how it performs. There's only one engine option in the Forester Wilderness. It's a 2.5 liter naturally aspirated boxer 4-cylinder, makes 182 horsepower, 176 pound-feet of torque, but for the Wilderness, there's other mechanical changes. It sits a little bit higher with 9.2 inches of ground clearance. It's got some underbody protection. It's got some changes to the transmission and the cooling to make it more capable. Let's see if that's true. All right, welcome to the TFL slip test. So in this test, we get various wheels stuck on purpose in these rollers to see how the all-wheel drive system and traction control system fare to get us unstuck. This is a great test, a controlled environment that represents snow and ice and mud and rocks and all that. And we're gonna try this Subaru Forester Wilderness, and I'm so excited to try this car. You know, we don't have a working relationship with Subaru because we published a video a while back and they didn't like the outcome. And ever since, you know, we've never been able to receive loaner cars from them. And I think, you know, people think, oh, we just hate Subarus. I don't hate Subarus. I think they make some of the most innovative and some of the best value cars out there. I just wish I had the opportunity to test them more because I'm hoping this Wilderness will prove to be a really good performer out here in the roller. So this is the front wheel slip test. We're going to start in normal mode, no X mode selected. Front wheels are stuck in the rollers, nice and settled. Into drive, foot off the brake, onto the accelerator, and you can see absolutely incredible results. So one of the advantages of Subaru system is they call it symmetrical all-wheel drive. They say that, you know, it's never just front wheel drive, it's never just rear wheel drive. And we saw that on the front wheel slip test, just drove right off, not a lick of slipping. On to the next one.
Hey folks, today's video is brought to you by salvagereseller.com. This website allows you to bid live on online salvage auto auctions without a dealer's license. You can register for free or use the 20% off coupon in the description below. Go find your salvage car gem now.
Alright, so for the next test, we've got the diagonal slip test. So the front left wheel stuck in the roller, so is the rear right, and this is very common off-road, but also very common in the snow, the slushy ice. Imagine you're driving up on like a snowy curb or a snowy mound. Wheels start to lift. That simulates this perfectly, and obviously off-road is very common. Now we're going to start out in normal mode, not going to engage anything special, and then if we get stuck, we can start playing around with the X mode. So we're in the rollers, into neutral, letting the vehicle rest, in the drive, nice and gentle on the throttle. Okay, so that was normal mode. And you could see we were able to get unstuck. Did take some spinning, but still, that was a pretty good result. But we're gonna try it one more time in the X mode and see if that makes a difference. So this car actually has a dual X mode setup with dirt and snow and then deep snow and mud. We're gonna try it first in the standard X mode, which is snow and dirt. Really impressed with the torque delivery so far out of the CVT. The Wilderness has a lower final drive ratio, like 4:1, and it's doing pretty well. Just getting on and off these rollers, I'm pretty impressed. So we're in the snow and dirt X mode, onto the accelerator. Oh, interesting. So much faster result. Really good wheel speed transfer on the left. I think we actually broke the tire loose. But let's try that one more time in the double X mode, super secret X mode. Okay. We're on the rollers, nice and settled. I'm engaging the deep snow and mud mode in the drive. Oh, wow, look at that. So really dramatic difference. In the standard mode, kind of took some thinking. In the first X mode, you know, a little bit of slippage. In the second one, drove right off. Very impressive. Going back into the normal mode. Now this is where things get really interesting. So this is a 3-wheel slip test. Both rear wheels are stuck. Left front is stuck. Only the right front has traction. Starting in normal mode. Into drive. Out of the accelerator. Oh, interesting. Okay, so we're a little bit stuck, but that's before we engage the X mode. So first X mode. See, do we see a difference? More traction control intervention. Okay, there you go. So we actually got a lot of torque transfer. It actually shifted the whole vehicle sideways, but in the first X mode, we were able to get unstuck on that first test. I want to try it one more time. We're going to use the deep snow mode though, see if that makes a difference. Into drive, let's see if there's a difference. Wow, oh yeah, huge difference. So what's happening is, I'm actually really impressed. So the vehicle's shifting off the rollers, and it's not because like we're on a slant or anything, but it's because there's so much torque being transferred to that wheel on the ground. It's spinning, and then it's shifting the whole vehicle around. So, I mean, big difference, right? No X mode, we got stuck. Standard X mode, took some thinking, got unstuck. Deep snow and mud, whoosh, drove right off. All right, now for the hardest test. Both front wheels are stuck. The left rear is stuck, only the right rear is on the ground. Now for this test, like always, we just go right into the most hardcore mode, which is going to be the double X mode. Come on, Subaru. Let's see what you got, buddy. All right, we're in neutral, in drive, on the accelerator. Ah! All right, we got off. And I bet we can see exactly what happened when we look at the pavement. So, just as I thought, it took some spinning. The computer had to think about it a little bit, but we had such aggressive torque transfer that we actually got some wheel spin on this right rear wheel. So I have to say, that was very impressive. That happened with the Bronco Sport as well, which is a sign that, you know, we're getting a lot of wheel speed transfer and the computer's really figured out how to get us unstuck. So, very impressed so far with this system, but we're gonna go try it out in the real world and see how it performs. Alright guys, so we have a unique opportunity to experience this car because of a viewer. Can I have you introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Dayan, and I live in Chicago suburbs.
Well sir, I really appreciate you coming down with your Forester Wilderness, and one of the cool things we can do on this video is also talk about your experience with this car. Why did you choose the Wilderness Forester?
So first of all, I wanted to have a compact SUV for family trips, and also the fact that it can fit in a garage and still have a room left for the other motorcycles and bicycles.
Yep.
And number two is that I was looking for a unibody SUV with independent suspension with fairly rugged suspension for Chicago roads.
Okay,
so essentially I don't have to slow down for all of the potholes and going over the railroad tracks. I think I can just maintain the speed and the car can handle it just fine.
Sure. So you have especially you have a bunch of options, you know, from Toyota, a lot of different manufacturers. What drew you to Subaru in the first place?
The Subaru, first of all, they have evolved their technology and over the time and with the slight increments, and I think at this point they're really in a...
Whoa! So that was the automatic braking. Here, let me turn that off.
Yeah. It
must have seen the grass and... Sorry about that.
No, don't worry about it.
It saw the grass and thought it was a car back there.
I can live with a CVT, and I think this specifically CVT in Wilderness, it's beefed up compared to the standard Forester.
Right.
So the acceleration is much better. 0 to 60 is about 8 seconds.
Yeah.
But you got to be in Chicago for that, not here in Colorado, that's for sure. And also what I like is the boxer engine without turbo, because I'm making a lot of short distance trips where the heating and cooling cycles are very frequent, so the engine and transmission do not even warm up before I shut off the engine. So I was a little concerned with the turbos or anything else.
Did you notice an acceleration difference between Chicago and up here?
Yes,
in Colorado?
Yeah. Yes, I did. That's for sure. The car is much peppier in Chicago.
Yeah, interesting. Well, this is our trenches course, so we've got these various grooves cut in the earth at kind of offset intervals, and we're going to see how the performance is. So we're going to start out in normal mode, and then we'll run it again in X mode, just to kind of see and contrast the difference. And the course changes every time due to the rains that we've been getting here. So thank you for letting us go through the grass. So you can see we're on 2 wheels right now. We're just in the normal mode, applying some accelerator. And you can feel like the car figured it out, but it definitely took a little bit of thinking. So we're going to do it again here on the 2 wheels. A little bit of accelerator. I have to say, you're right, the ride quality is really good. You know, we're going through a pretty aggressive terrain here. I'm just holding constant RPM. Okay, so we actually are in a position where we're a little bit stuck. So let's try the first X mode, which is snow and dirt. Let's see if that makes a difference. Oh yeah, look at that. Noticeable difference. So really big difference on the torque transfer. It's going to get a little harder up here. keep a little bit of momentum, but I don't want to make it too easy for the car. But look at that. Impressive. So I think what I've learned, and I'm hoping that you guys out there can maybe back this up, is in a lot of cars there's off-road modes. You push the button and nothing happens. And you know, you feel adventure ready, but very little difference. In the Subaru system though, when I engage the X mode, it makes a huge difference, even the first X mode. And we're going to try it one more time with the second mode engaged. But let's talk about your fuel economy. So tell me about what you've been getting with this 4-cylinder.
So on average it's 26 miles per gallon.
Okay.
In the city, and on the highway, when I reach the speed around 70-75 miles per hour, I can get up to 30 miles per gallon. When I start going uphill, it drops down to maybe 26. On this trip from Chicago to Denver, since I was fully loaded with the hitch rack in the back, it was 23.5 miles to the gallon, which I was happy with.
Okay.
Because I expected much lower gas mileage.
And what are some of the things that you've been really impressed with this car? What's been surprisingly good?
So I like the suspension. I liked that the car is really quiet as well, which surprised me as well.
Yeah.
I liked how it handles, and I like how it accelerates, even though it doesn't have a turbo.
Well, okay, interesting. So you like the acceleration?
Yeah, I mean, it keeps me ahead of the traffic. And it is not overwhelming. I mean, it is not turbo power, that's for sure.
Now, are there some things you wish Subaru had done differently after owning it?
At this point, I do not have one single complaint.
Wow, good for you. Okay.
And I am not loyal to any brands out there.
Yeah.
So I'm happy with this car.
Nice. Well, we've gone into the deep snow and mud mode right off the bat, and we're going to try this course again. This time in the more aggressive of the X mode settings. Oh, one more thing I want to add. You actually upgraded the underbody protection, right?
Yes, I did.
So what did you do? How were you able to do that?
So I bought the car. Only accessory I got with the car was the Subaru hitch.
Okay.
And the second accessory I purchased myself and installed myself, that was a rear differential plate.
Okay.
And also Subaru, I purchased through Subaru, and the Subaru installed the transmission, I believe, plate. Yes, yeah. Transmission plate.
Pretty easy install?
Pretty easy install. Car was in and out in 20 minutes.
Nice. And if you don't mind me asking, what was the MSRP on this car? What was the sticker price?
MSRP was 35. This is 23 Forester Wilderness. It was 35, and I paid MSRP.
Pretty reasonable.
Yes, and I had to wait 3 months for it, but I wanted the exact color.
Yep.
And I want to have a hitch installed by Subaru as well.
Fair enough. All right, we're in double super secret X mode. Now immediately, look at that. So you can tell that the computer is more active, and we're going to take this really slow just to make it hard on the vehicle. But the computer is very active in distributing the torque. So this is where we got stuck last time. And it's, come on, car. Actually very impressive. And the other thing too is, like in previous Subarus I've driven, which granted aren't that many with the CVT, but one thing I always notice is I'm really deep in the accelerator pedal and stuff like this. But in this Wilderness with the upgraded CVT, just gentle applications, and we drove it up. Well, sir, I can't thank you enough for bringing your car by. I'm impressed. I think Subaru did a really cool thing here, and especially when you consider 35 grand. With, you know, just a few accessories, you could have a vehicle which is going to be really good on the highway and still be able to tackle most of what people want to get to the campsite, and do so with relative efficiency. It's impressive.
Well, thank you. I'm impressed too, though. I didn't regret to buy it, that's for sure.
No, and now you even regret it less, hopefully. Well, I have to say I was a little skeptical of this vehicle. When you hear boxer 4-cylinder CVT, how is it going to perform? But this vehicle has blown away my expectations. I really think it's a cool little package, and I think it's a pretty decent value as well, especially when you consider the amount of technology and interior room. Guys, let me know what you think in the comments section below. We'll see you on the next video. As always, it's been Tommy. Check out alltfl.com for more reviews.